Hey guys, Warrior Pug here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to start off in Roblox Studio. So, when you open up Roblox Studio, you're going to want to select Baseplate for right now. For right now, we can close out of Toolbox. I will be explaining that in a later video. And you want to make sure you have Explorer open, and also go to View and select Properties. Now, there's a lot of other things that we'll be getting into when we talk about scripts. That will be in our more advanced videos, but for now, we can just have the game view, the Explorer, and properties. Okay, so you'll see we've got our base plate in here, and that's really the only thing in here. And that's because that's just what we loaded, the base plate. And if you chose any of the other options, you'll see all the preloaded assets. But you can find everything that's in your workspace. This is called your workspace, everything that you can see and physically interact with in the game. So you'll see that base plate's really the only thing in here now besides some other preset Roblox features. So the base plate is just basically a part that you can insert into it. And we'll be talking about that soon. So first things first, we'll open up home. You'll see this is basically where you see all of your tools, everything that you use to configure your game, your main basic editing elements for the game. So you'll see selects here. You've got move, which that's pretty self-explanatory. I can move the base plate up and down. You've got scale, which scale can change the size of parts. So now if I go back to move this base plate, you can see it's much thicker now. And then I can scale it back down. Just go in there. Or I can just hit undo. So next we've got rotate, which again, like move is pretty self-explanatory. But this basically just rotates your part. So we go back to base plate. Rotate it like this. So these are your four major editing features, and you can do a lot with just these four. Terrain editor will be going into some advanced and basic terrain editing in a future video, so don't worry about that right now. Toolbox is what we closed out of. Basically, Toolbox, briefly, is just a bunch of models that people have created on Roblox. And you can just pull one of these out, get a light post, for example. And it's already made for you. You don't have to do anything else. So next over here, we've got part, which this is how you're going to put new parts into your game. So you'll see, just like base plate, it defaults to workspace, and make sure that stays in there. You don't want to accidentally move it into any of these other folders and locations because that can mess it up. So we've got our part now. And you'll see over here in properties now, focusing on properties, it comes up with a whole list of different physical attributes for the part. So first off, we got the color. And once you click on this, you can see we've got a whole different view of all the different colors we can choose that are basic by Roblox. And you can add more custom ones if you want. But for right now, we'll just be sticking with these. So you can change the color of the part, mess around with it. Yep. And that's colors there too. After that, we've got material. So you can change that up. Roblox gives you a bunch of basic textures that you can use. So if I change to brick, you'll see that bricks show up. That's pretty fun to play around with. I would suggest, especially if you're new to it, I would suggest playing around with that, just adding parts, changing the color, changing the material. That's what I started doing. And eventually, you'll be able to build on those skills. Orientation and position. Basically, orientation we'll go into that later, but position is where the part's located in the game. This next part of the video is probably the most important part of the video, and that's just how to start testing out your game. So there's 2 ways to do this. That button right up here, that play button with the little Roblox character, and then you'll find the same button if you go to test. You click that. And so when we click that, you'll see the game starts to load up. And it takes a little bit because it's still in Roblox Studio. But once you upload it to Roblox, it'll go faster. So you'll see we load in, and here's our base plate. Our base plate and the part we added. And, oh, it's still tilted. Oops. Forgot to unrotate that. So you'll see our parts up there, workspace, or base plate, which is in our workspace. And this is just basically everything in our workspace. You'll see you control it just like a regular Roblox game. You kind of feel like you're playing a Roblox game when you load in and test it out here. And again, this is going to be very important for testing out your game. So to get out of this, you're just going to hit the red stop button that appears up here. And we'll be brought right back to our editing mode. So I think that's about it. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention is anchoring your parts. This one's already anchored, but basically what anchor does is just makes it not move when you test your game. So like if I were to unanchor that, the part would fall and roll and react to gravity. But since it's anchored, it doesn't change position. So I think that's everything now. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. Any feedback, make sure to put in the comments. If you guys want to see a particular topic next, make sure to comment that down below. But besides that, I'll see you in the next one.